Hi, this is Ed Rush for Whitestone Journal. Having a conversation kind of online about political correctness, and oh my goodness, I know this is a big thing. I don't know why people tend to get kind of into two camps on everything. Whatever it is, we have to either be right or left, we have to be conservative or liberal, or in favor of political correctness, or whatever the opposite to that is. No one says, oh, I want to be politically correct. But hey, you know, the thing is that when we get all head up about something and get all angry and stuff, we're really putting ourselves open to a temptation and open to being used. The thing that I found interesting in this election year, and I really try to stay away from this on these videos anyway, but is that people are getting used. With the people that are complaining about political correctness, the people that feel that somebody else is getting an advantage because of what happened hundreds of years ago, the people that get upset because they feel like they can't say anything, and often they want to say things that are wrong, and they want everybody to be okay with that. That's not right. But those people they're just asking to be used by some petty tyrant that comes along and tells them what they want to hear and is outrageous and, you know, makes their voice heard and all that. But you know what? Frankly, a lot of the things that are being said don't need to be said. There's no need to go around insulting people like this. There's a few people that probably need to be insulted. But you know what? That's a very, very much a handful of people, and it's not the general public. People running for office right now need a good insult. I mean, I'm sorry. I guess that's not very good. I just invalidated myself. I don't know. But honestly, they're terrible. Why do people put up with this? You've got a guy that's insulting every... It's kind of funny. You got one that's insulting every possible group there is. I mean, insulting veterans, insulting every minority that he can insult. Giving special attention. And then on the other hand, you got another one that isn't insulting any of those groups, except insulting their intelligence. Claims to be everybody's friend, but in real life, you know, in those back rooms, makes fun of them and jokes about how stupid they are and how much they're able to use them to get votes and power. And that group says, oh, I'm going to help you do better, I'm going to help you find acceptance in society, I'm going to help you but the truth is that they need to keep them exactly where they are. As long as they're a disaffected, disenfranchised group, there's power in that for the people that are using them, and there's zero power for the people that are actually thinking they're getting power. It doesn't make any sense. But where else are they going to go? I mean, it's like nobody is really taking care of people. There's no candidates that are really doing anything all that useful. You had 8 years of somebody that supposedly was going to help and hasn't done a thing. I mean, there's been some stuff that's generally may work out okay. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's not necessarily always done well. But really, for the most part, there's still people being killed, frankly, because they're young and black and male. I mean, it's a hazard where they get stopped by the police and they don't know if they're going to get shot. This is just stupid. And no one's really doing anything. I mean, individually, there's been some good police chiefs out there that occasionally do something halfway right. Actually, some of them do really well and have really made a difference. But my goodness, why wasn't there a attorney general? Why wasn't the attorney general told to go form some kind of a group, study it, and get a solution? Because there's no excuse for this. And I know it's a matter of people changing, and that it's honestly at the root, it's sin that makes people do these cruel things that they do. There's still a lot of racism. There's still a lot of bias. There's people that can't get a break. There's undocumented Americans that live in fear every day of getting deported. That honestly, there's no excuse for that. nothing's being done, because as long as that problem exists, some people make political capital off of it. And they'll say, oh, that's a horrible thing you're saying, that some people are actually living off the suffering of others. Lots of people live off the suffering of others. Lawyers. A lot of lawyers. And I'm not saying that I hate lawyers. I'm not doing the whole Shakespeare thing that, kill all the lawyers. I'm just saying, an awful lot of law is because we don't get along. Some of it is in preparation for people not getting along. Contracts, oh my goodness, contracts. You're trying to cover all the ways that somebody else will cheat you. And lawyers get paid for that. Well, you know what? We are the ones that make the market. We're the ones that make an opening for somebody to live off of that. So if you don't want people to live off your faults, don't have faults. If you don't want people to live off your sin, don't sin. And I'm far from anything perfect myself, obviously. But we're all living off death. We're all living off of the pain of others to some degree. And we need to make a world where that's not true. And we can start by trying to reduce it. So be nice to somebody today. Be fair. Really examine your attitude. Maybe, just maybe, you've contributed to the problem. Well, if you have, stop. Do something kind for someone today. Look at somebody that doesn't get respected and give them respect. Treat them like royalty. Somebody at the DMV, some functionary I was just at the library and went to drop off some old videotapes that they got replaced, so I don't need them anymore. Probably never needed them, I don't know. But dropped them off at the library, and the young person that worked there, and when I say young person, he's probably 35 or something, I don't know. But the young person that worked there was so polite and pleasant, and I would have been glad to bring them in. I would have carried him in. I would have put him any place he wanted, but he insisted on going out to the loading dock, and he said, oh, I don't want you to have to bring them all in, and so, went out of his way and just did a lovely, lovely job, and I just thought that was really neat. Looking back, I realized that's where they put their donations, is out in this spot, so if I brought it in the other way, it would have been harder, but the way that he asked me to bring them to the loading dock was considerate and so well done. And showing appreciation and treating it with courtesy is a gift. That's something that we can do for people. If you see somebody that's in a group that doesn't get good treatment a lot of the time, don't do the whole anger thing and, oh, they're getting all this, they're wanting special rights, blah, blah, blah. For goodness sakes, treat them well. The best thing you can do if you want to make the world better. And don't say, oh, by the way, I know you're really an oppressed people, so I want to really take good care of you. And no, just treat them with decency. That's all anybody's asking. There's a few jerks out there that want something special. Boy, the number of people that want that is so small. And we're not likely to run into them in person. We just read about them in the news. So for goodness sakes, treat people with respect, please. Show all the kindness you can. And do acknowledge that some people have it awfully rough because of the color of their skin or the language they speak or where they came from. This is all over the world. This kind of stuff exists. Let's put an end to it, at least in our own lives. Ed Rushman, Whitestone Journal.